The elevator smelled like old coffee and ambition. Zara stepped in wearing her museum uniform, a plain olive green button-up, black slacks that were slightly too big, white sneakers scuffed at the toes. Her braids were tied up in a scrunchie she'd found in her pocket. She was carrying a mop bucket with one broken wheel that kept squeaking against the marble floor. Third floor. Conservation wing. That was her world. He stepped in at the last second. Dark gray crewneck, black track pants with a single white stripe down the side, clean white low-top sneakers that had clearly never touched concrete before tonight. A single gold chain caught the elevator light. No watch. No badge. Just a backpack slung over one shoulder and a coffee cup that was clearly from somewhere expensive. She pressed 3. He pressed 3 too. Zara glanced sideways. He was looking at his phone, jaw tight, like someone had just texted him something that rearranged his whole reality. The elevator stopped. Neither of them moved. "You good?" she asked, because she could not help herself. He looked up. His eyes were the kind of tired that sleep doesn't fix. Warm brown, heavy-lidded, carrying something she couldn't name yet. "Yeah," he said. Then, quieter, "Not really." The doors began to close again. Zara stuck her hand out and caught them. "Third floor's actually kind of nice at night," she said. "If you need a second." He stepped out with her. She didn't know why she let him. His name was Run. He told her that much, leaning against the hallway wall while she filled out her supply checklist. He did not offer anything else. She didn't ask. They sat in silence for 4 whole minutes in a hallway full of ancient artifacts and humming overhead lights, two strangers sharing air while the city buzzed 30 floors below them. When she finally started pushing her bucket toward the conservation room, he said, "You actually like it here." "I can tell." She stopped. "Yeah. I do. Must be nice," he said, "to be somewhere and actually mean it." She looked back at him once before she turned the corner. He was already gone. 2 weeks later, Zara's coworker slammed a magazine down on the break room table hard enough to rattle the coffee mugs. Forbes. Young Power issue. The guy on the cover was wearing a tailored black blazer, silver chain visible at the collar, standing in front of what looked like a digital art installation. He was smiling like someone told him to smile, not like something was actually funny. But she knew that jaw. She knew those eyes. Renato Voss, 26. Founder of Voss Creative Labs. Just closed a $220 million acquisition deal. "Isn't that the guy you were talking to in the hall last week?" her coworker asked. Zara said nothing. That night she sat on her apartment floor, back against her bed, city lights blurring through the window. Her walls were covered in art prints she'd found at thrift stores. Her sneakers were drying on the heater. Her life was small and deliberate and hers. Her phone buzzed. Unknown number. One message. "I should have told you. I'm sorry." She stared at it. Then she typed back, slowly. "Told me what exactly? That you were having some kind of undercover moment in my hallway? 3 dots. Gone. Back again. That I haven't talked to a real person in so long I forgot what it felt like." Zara set her phone face down on the floor. Her chest felt strange. Crowded. She picked it back up. "There's a night market by the waterfront. Friday. 7 p.m., come looking like yourself, not the magazine cover. I'll know the difference." She hit send before she could think about it. He showed up in the same gray crewneck. She respected that. Zara wore a cropped brown leather jacket over a white tank, wide-leg linen pants in dark olive, chunky platform sandals. Her braids were down this time, gold hoops catching the lantern light strung above the market stalls. They walked without a destination. Takoyaki in hand. The air smelled like salt water and grilled corn and someone's incense nearby. "So why the museum?" he asked. "My mom worked there when I was little. Cleaning crew, same as me. She'd take me on slow nights and tell me the stories behind every piece." She paused. "She passed 2 years ago. Working there feels like I'm still in the same room as her." Ren was quiet for a long moment. "I didn't expect that. People rarely do." "I built my company in my mom's name," he said suddenly, like it surprised him too. "She never got to see it. She died right before the first funding round came through." He looked at the water. "So I get it. Being somewhere to stay close to something." That was the moment. Not a big one. No music, no grand gesture. Just two people with dead mothers standing by the water holding street food, finally seeing each other. But then his phone rang. He glanced at the screen and something shifted in his face. Something locked. "I have to take this." "Okay. Zara." He said her name like it cost him something. "Don't go anywhere." She watched him walk 10 feet away, voice dropping low. She only caught one phrase. "She doesn't know anything. Keep it that way." Her takoyaki suddenly tasted like nothing. She waited. She should not have, but she did. When he came back, his expression was reset. Smooth. Practiced. And she saw it then, the performance, the version of him that had learned how to manage people. "Who was that?" she asked. "Business. At 7 p.m. on a Friday at a night market." "Zara, it's complicated." "No." She turned to face him fully. "What's complicated is that I just told you the most personal thing about my life and then 30 seconds later I heard you tell someone to keep me in the dark. So either explain that or don't waste my time." He closed his eyes for 1 second. "My publicist. There's a story coming out. About me. And you're in it." The air left her lungs. "What?" "Someone took photos. Us at the museum hallway that night. I don't know how. The angle, the timing, someone framed it to look like something it wasn't. They're running it as a billionaire secret romance angle. My team was going to let it run because the attention would help the next product launch." She stared at him. "Were you going to tell me?" He said nothing. And that silence was the loudest betrayal she had ever heard. "I need you to go," she said. Her voice was steady. She was proud of that. "Zara, please." "I said go, run." She walked home alone. The city was loud and she felt none of it. When she got to her apartment she sat on the floor again, back against the bed, and did not cry. She just sat there, in the quiet, thinking about how she always knew when something was too good. Her phone lit up. Not Ren this time. A notification. The article was already live. And someone had found her full name. Her address. Her mother's grave. Comments were flooding in. She turned her phone off. For 2 days, Zara worked her shifts, said nothing, kept her headphones in. The conservation wing felt smaller. The hallway where she first met him felt like someone else's memory. On the 3rd day, Ren was standing outside the museum entrance at 6 a.m. Before her shift. He was wearing a plain white tee, gray joggers, no chain, no performance. He looked like he hadn't slept. His eyes were red at the edges. He was holding a folder. "I pulled the article," he said before she could walk past. "Made them kill the whole campaign. It cost me the launch partnership. About 8 million in projected revenue." She stopped. "I didn't ask you to do that." "I know." "Then why?" "Because you told me about your mom in that market and I still almost let my team use your grief as a marketing angle." His voice cracked at the end. "Just barely." That's not something I can undo. But I could do that. Zara looked at him for a long time. The early morning sky behind him was that pale blue that hasn't decided if it's night or day yet. A city bus rumbled past. Someone's music drifted from a passing car. You don't get to be forgiven just because you made it right after, she said. I know. And I don't trust you. I know that too. But, she exhaled slowly, I also think you're the most honest you've ever been right now, and it took all of this to get here, and I don't actually know what to do with that. He didn't smile. He didn't reach for her. He just stood there, present, still, like he was willing to wait as long as it took for her to decide. She took the folder from his hands. Inside was a formal statement, legal documentation proving the article's retraction, and a handwritten note on plain paper that just said, I see you. Not the story. You. She folded it. Put it in her jacket pocket. I have a shift, she said. Okay. She walked to the entrance. Paused with her hand on the door. There's a new exhibit opening next month. African contemporary art. My department is running it. She didn't look back. If you want to come. You'd have to come as yourself. She heard him breathe. Yeah, he said. I'd like that. She pushed through the door. And for the first time in days, something in her chest felt less like stone and more like something that might, eventually, learn to trust again. Not yet. But maybe. The end.